And then hopefully, if
Gerardo
Carol, yeah,
is on the attendee side. Can you pull him over to, please?
and hopefully if Carol is on, we need to pull her over.
Carol Dykes can be
Yeah.
pulled.
Sorry, I'm trying to get the stream running at the same
She's
time.
trying to connect.
Pardon?
This is Liz. Yeah, she's trying to connect. So I'm texting her back and forth now. I think she's having a little bit of a difficulty connecting. So let's see what I can do to help.
And Liz, is there anybody else you want to pull over for that? For our resolution
Oh, she's on. Carol is on.
and the proclamation, actually, good.
And we'll pull over when we get the streamlining. We'll pull over to the attendee side. She's on the attendee side.
Did you say Supervisor Begay was joining by phone?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Server 3718.
There she is. Hey.
Hi, Lindsay. And did you see my note about Michelle, Eve, and Andrea?
No, sorry, I've been trying.
That's okay. No, that's okay. Yeah, you can bring the three of them over too for the mental health proclamation. Thanks.
I don't see Michelle on, Kim. I think you said Michelle, right?
I did.
I don't see Eve either.
I did promote Eve. Eve's on.
Okay, she's there.
And we do have Supervisor Begay. She's on the phone, so I can't make her a panelist, but I can allow her to speak so she can just unmute.
We have Supervisor Fowler with us and Geronimo is with us. So I guess we've got the 4 board members.
We do.
And Steve, do we have everybody we need from the county?
Yes, we do. I think we do.
All right. With that, then I'm going to go ahead and members of the board, I know it's been a long day, but it looks like it's going to be a short night. Today is a regular meeting of the board. It's Tuesday, May 9th. First order of business is a call to order. And our first order of business is call to order. And my name is Patrice Horstman. I'm chair of the board and also the supervisor for District 1, District 2.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Geronimo Vasquez. I'm supervisor for District 2 and current vice chair.
And District 3, I do not see on, and District 3 is excused. He is not feeling well. District 4. Supervisor Begay, are you on? I see your name. We may be having some technical difficulties, so I'm going to ask District 5, Supervisor Lena Fowler.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening, and here we are together again.
We're back together. The gang's back together again. So Supervisor Begay, are you able to join us yet?
Supervisor Begay, you just need to unmute your phone.
Well, I see Supervisor Begay. It appears that she may be having some technical difficulties. So we're going to go ahead and proceed, and hopefully she'll be able to join us verbally as well soon. And our second order of business is to honor our country through the Pledge of Allegiance. And with that, I am going to ask that our clerk put up a flag and as well as the Pledge of Allegiance. And for those of you that can, please stand and let's honor our nation by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag
of
of
the United States of America
America
and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for which it stands,
stands
one nation,
under
under God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice for
justice for
all.
all.
All right. Thank you. And members of the board, our next item of business is the call to the public. And members of the public, this is your time to be heard on matters not on the agenda. It's time, your time to address the board, make comments to the board. And it is an opportunity for you to speak on items not on the agenda. We ask that you keep them to 3 minutes. Of course, this is a public meeting, so that we ask that you be respectful. And before we go to our clerk for her to explain how you members of the public can join us, I see that County Manager has his hand up. So I will go internally first for our call to the public. So County Manager Peru, please.
Thank you, Chair, members of the board, guests and individuals joining us this evening. I want to acknowledge the passing of a good friend. Former board member Dick Deaver passed and left us on May 2nd, 2023. Mr. Deaver joined the board in 1995. He was active in a number of different causes, Flag Medical Center, NAU Federated, Chamber of Commerce. He was also on the Housing Authority for Flagstaff. He was on the Parks and Recreation Commission, and then he joined the board in 1995. I had the honor of working with Mr. Deaver and found him to be a kind and caring individual, heard about his district and the residents in his district. And of course, he was very, very supportive of the staff and the efforts of the staff team. So again, just wanted to acknowledge the passing of a good friend and of course, a former board member who has always been part of the county family. So Mr. Dick Deaver again left us in 2023, and he represented District 3. So again, just the passing of a good friend. So Madam Chair, just wanted to acknowledge Mr. Deaver's contributions and the legacy he's left. Thank you.
Thank you for doing that, Steve. Really appreciate that. And with that, I'm going to now turn this over to our clerk to explain to members of the public how you can join us and be heard this evening on the call to the public.
Thank you, Chair Horseman. At this time, if there is anyone that would like to make a comment during the call to the public, you can hit the raise hand icon that looks like a hand at the bottom of your screen. And if you hover towards the bottom, it will appear. If you click on that, it will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak. If you join by telephone, you can hit *9, and that will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak.
Members of the public, this is your time to be heard.
And there are currently no hands raised.
All right, so this will be the last call to members of the public for the call to the public, for members of the public to be heard and to address the board.
And there are still no hands raised, Chairperson.
All right, very good. And so then we're moving on to the proclamations. We have two really important proclamations this evening. And before we do that, I do want to say and acknowledge Coconino County this afternoon, or actually this morning, had a wonderful ceremony in honor of Alta Edison and a naming of the Tuba City Elections Office as the Alta Edison Native American Outreach Center. And she was a member of the Coconino County family for 40 years, serving in the county recorder's office. And it was really a nice morning, and it was great to see so many people, family, friends, and colleagues coming out to honor Alta. So I just wanted to call that to the public's attention as well. So with that,
Madam
we are
Chair?
moving on. I'm sorry.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
This is Nina.
Supervisor Fowler.
I just want to make a comment about that. I was not able to attend, and I'm really happy that this recognition happened. However, I've been meeting with the recorder's office for this this dedication that is going to take place in Tuba City at the Tuba City Recorder's Office, Election Recorder's Office, and It was very important work that was done by Alta. I'm really happy that she was recognized. So thank you so much, and thank you for all attending. I was in another meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Supervisor Fowler. So with that, we're moving on to our proclamations for this evening. And the first one is a consideration of possible action to approve a proclamation designating May 2023 as Mental Health Awareness Month. And our Human Health and Human Services Director, Kim Musselman, is with us this evening. We'll introduce this item, and members of the HHS leadership team who will read the proclamation. And as always, good to see you, Kim, and thanks for being with us this evening.
Thank you, Chair Horseman, Supervisors. I'm honored to be here this evening to bring forward the proclamation for Mental Health Awareness Month. As you are all very aware, mental health is a key priority for Health and Human Services and for all of the county. And we have been working diligently, and during this month, hopefully you have all seen the social media campaign that is going on and are able to share those little reminders and messages so that we can help our community keep mental health wellness in the forefront. So before I get into any other details, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the proclamation. The team members that are going to be joining me, I've got Deputy Director Michelle Axland, Deputy Director Eve Walters, Division Manager over our Recovery and Resiliency, Erica Shaw. Also have our Division Manager for our Social Service, Senior Services, and Community Action, Andrea Maru. So we're gonna together read this proclamation if you are ready for us, Chair Horseman.
I am absolutely ready, and thank you for joining us this evening. It's always great to see the great team at HHS, and look forward to reading of the proclamation. And I will go ahead and read it, and then take a motion on it, and then turn it over to you, Kim, on anything else you'd like to say, and then we'll turn it over to my colleagues. So with that, please proceed with the proclamation.
All right, thank you, Chair. Whereas our county observes National Mental Health Month during the month of May to increase awareness about mental health, this observance is a pledge to prioritize the mental health and well-being of all residents, to raise awareness that mental health is a vital component of overall health, to acknowledge that mental illnesses are common and treatable, and that recovery is possible, and
whereas people are inherently worthy of life, love, and healing, no matter what they look like, no matter where they are in their journeys, no matter where they are no matter what they are or aren't able to do, and
whereas Coconino County stands in solidarity with those who are experiencing mental health challenges and their families and friends who support them, along with the dedicated mental health providers whose services and support improve the lives of so many individuals. And
whereas sharing personal experiences of living with mental illness or the loss of a loved one due to death by suicide can reduce barriers and normalize the process of individuals seeking mental health treatment, and
whereas we acknowledge the interconnectedness of an individual's lived experience, social and community context, and broader social determinants of health as they impact mental health and well-being, and recognize the importance of addressing all of the social determinants of health to improve well-being and mental health, and
whereas 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health condition each year, and
whereas Health and Human Services remains committed to optimizing the health and well-being of our residents, supporting the recovery and resiliency of all of our community members, and
now therefore, we do ask the board to proclaim May 2023 as Mental Health Awareness Month, pledging to continue supporting Coconino County Health and Human Services and our community partners as they expand access to behavioral health care, disrupt stigma around mental health, and continue finding innovative ways to promote mental health and well-being.
All right. Thank you so much, Kim, and thank you for the reading of that proclamation. At this time, I'm going to entertain a motion designating May 2023 as Mental Health Awareness Month. Do I have a motion? Supervisor
moved.
Vasquez?
Second.
We have a motion by Vice Chair and a second by Supervisor Fowler designating May 2023 as Mental Health Awareness Month. And thank you so much for the reading of that proclamation, and the board has accepted that proclamation. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Kim and have her give us a update on this. And then I'll turn it over to board members for comment. So Kim.
Great, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Board of Supervisors. And certainly thank all of you, and as well as all of county administration, for the support and the emphasis placed on mental health for our entire community, and also for our employees of Coconino County. We at Health and Human Services, we always say that we have to be able to practice what we preach, and so it is very much at the forefront of everything that we do in our daily operations. We include in our monthly all staff meeting, we always conclude with a mental health moment, so that we are ensuring that there is emphasis on the importance of our employees taking care of their mental health, and all of our teams and programs do those things throughout their regular work weeks and when they're meeting with their staff. And I know that other county departments are doing similar things and want to continue to encourage that. I do want to just quickly turn it over to Erica Shaw for just a moment, and she can explain kind of what event is going to be happening kind of at for the culmination of the end of the Mental Health Awareness Month. Unless there's any other questions, I'll turn it over to Erica and then entertain any other questions or comments from the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi,
Thank you.
Erica.
Thank you, Kim. Hi, Chair Horstman and members of the board. Thank you again for having us today. I wanted to reiterate that we'd encourage folks to share out our social media campaign. Our amazing communications team is sharing evidence-based tips and information and resources throughout the month to help with practical ideas for how people can incorporate mental health in some innovative ways, some simple ways that can really help improve how we're feeling day to day. And so we'll be sharing information about all the events that I'll mention as well on our social media pages. We'll also be hosting 2 mental health first aid trainings. They're community mental health first aid trainings. So we're continuing that trend. On May 18th, there will be a virtual youth mental health first aid training open to the community in partnership with the Guidance Center. And then on June 16th, we'll have the adult mental health first aid community training as well. So we alternate those trainings regularly throughout the months. And then we also will be culminating Mental Health Awareness Month with a celebration with a walk for wellness that we'll be hosting at Buffalo Park. We'll have shirts to celebrate physical and mental health and promote education and awareness around mental health, around the connectedness between our bodies and our brains and how we can take care of them together in community. There will be music, and we'll have more information to come, but all those resources will be shared on our social media pages and on our HHS website.
All right. Thank you, Erica. So any other comments, Kim, from your team? If not, I'm going to turn this to my colleagues for comments. Vice Chair.
Sure, thank you. Well, first off, I just want to thank everybody on the team for the proclamation. It's really a statement about the culture in the county that we want to cultivate. It's a statement by the staff and also a statement by the Board of Supervisors, just recognizing the importance of mental health of our community. And, as a board, as we look at the ARPA funds and the investments we've made into mental health services, it's really exciting to see the ARPA investments start to blossom. We're not there yet. We're not at full capacity yet, but it's nice to see things start moving. And this proclamation, the social media campaign, I see that as an extension of those programs as they're starting to come to fruition, and I really appreciate it because it's so needed in our community. We're listening, we're in budget right now, and we're listening to the impacts of a cost of living and housing on our staff, and that's our staff, but it's also happening in the general community, and then you think about the stresses on our youth. They're really struggling coming out of the pandemic. You know, there's a whole generation of kids that lost about 2 years of their high school years that are about to graduate and don't really know what to do with their life because of some of the impacts of COVID, you know, and then you throw in there social media, you throw in there all those different factors that are pressuring these kids in ways that we couldn't imagine when we were young. And we really need these supports. And so I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's advocating for mental health wellness. You are creating the county we want to live in. And, you know, we still got work to go, but it's really encouraging and exciting to see what's happening. And I just want to say thank you for all your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Other comments, members of the board? I will go ahead and make a comment. And of course, Vice Chair did such a great job of really kind of overstating the where we are coming from as a board of supervisors. You know, it's really important for us to do what we can as a county, as a family here in Coconino County, to disrupt the stigma and bring mental health and mental health awareness out of the shadows. And I really appreciate this proclamation because it's one way and one step that we can do to make this a part of overall health for individuals as well as for our community. And I'm so proud of the steps HHS has taken and Coconino County has taken to expand access to mental and behavioral health, and for the expansion of mental and behavioral health opportunities, trainings, programs. And I really thank HHS and really all of those in the county that have really taken this up as a important mission for Coconino County. So thank you so much for all of your work on mental and behavioral health. And I think it's perfect that May, the beginning of summer, is a great time for us to really, really emphasize mental health here for our community. So thank you. And thank you for the programs, Erica, and for all the work you do on this. So Supervisor Fowler, I see you've bubbled up, so please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all that is working in the field. This is a really, really difficult field to work in. And being able to actually help people with that don't really, most of the time, they don't understand why a lot of times they don't understand that they need help. So I think that it's really important for everyone that is working in the field and as us as individuals to be there as a safety net. You never know when that will come about. It's just, you know, during these budget meetings, all the departments, it seems like every department is coming through talking about mental health. And, you know, you don't really realize how much investments that we have put into this until almost every department comes through saying that they're working on mental health. You know, the cases that in mental health and why it's costly is mental health. So it is so important, and just in the community, you know, just people talking about it, and the school system, and hearing story about this family or that family, and it's just everywhere. I think that it's this partnership of addressing and mental health and trying to help people to be able to come to a better state of life. It's really challenging. And so thank you for all your partnership. I want to thank all the departments as well. And all the other partners that are out in the community that we're working with. So it is just such an important work. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Supervisor Fowler. And I'm not sure if we have Supervisor Begay who's able to unmute or not, but with that, I just again want to say great job, HHS, and appreciate the month of May and really every month being Mental Health Awareness Month, and appreciate all of your efforts assisting all of us in Coconino County and our community. Really appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So with that, we are moving on. We have double proclamations today. And it is really a wonderful opportunity for us to acknowledge and to approve a proclamation designating May 11th, 2023 as Carol Dykes Day in Coconino County, to honor Carol Dykes for her commitment to the community as the president and CEO of United Way of Northern Arizona. And Carol has informed us that she is going to retire effective on May 11th. And so we were told by the new president and CEO, Liz Archuleta, somebody, a name near and dear to us all, that this was going to happen. And so it just seems totally appropriate here for us as members of the Board of Supervisors who have worked so closely with United Way and have been there as partners with Coconino County through so many emergencies of past, that we honor Carol's retirement through the proclamation of Carol Dykes Day. And with that, we have another person who used to be the president and CEO of United Way, our very own county manager, Steve Peru. And so, Steve, if you will, would you mind reading the proclamation for the board's consideration?
It would be my honor, and I would ask those that Carol and others to turn on your cameras and yeah, so we've got other folks. So anyone that's on here that's a supporter of Carol, light it up. So again, I've offered to give retirement lessons to Carol, but she said no, because I'm a lousy person at retiring. So with that, I'm honored to read the proclamation. So again, whereas Carol Dykes served Coconino County in Northern Arizona through 24 years of leadership and extraordinary service to United Way of Northern Arizona, including as its president and CEO commencing in 2019. And whereas United Way of Northern Arizona is a nonprofit organization dedicated to mobilizing communities to make positive changes in community conditions in Coconino County. And whereas Carol Dykes spearheaded efforts by United Way to enhance opportunities for children and youth, including expanding early childhood development and preschool, foundational, social, and academic skills through Kinder Camp, and positive youth development through Step Up for Youth. And whereas when our community faces emergencies and disasters such as pandemics, wildfires, and flooding, United Way of Northern Arizona is there. In partnership with Coconino County, United Way assists in emergency response for our residents and in volunteer coordination so that neighbors can help neighbors during times of emergencies. Last year, during the tunnel and pipeline fires and the over 45 separate flooding events that followed under Carol Dykes' leadership, United Way volunteers provided over 1,636 hours of service to our community. And whereas Carol Dykes is the long-serving co-chair of the Social Safety Net Services Coalition, a county-wide coalition of nonprofits of Northern Arizona that provide services and programs to ensure that the basic safety, welfare, and security needs are provided through Coconino County. And whereas Coconino County values and greatly appreciates Carol's 24 years of collaboration, leadership, caring, and advocacy and service to Coconino County and its residents. And whereas Coconino County acknowledges Carol Dykes' retirement from her years of service to United Way of Northern Arizona and the residents of Coconino County. Now, therefore, be it resolved in honor of her contributions, Coconino County hereby declares May 11th, 2023 as Carol Dykes Day. We urge Coconino County to observe this day by embracing Carol Dykes' spirit of living united and encourage everyone to reach out to others in fellowship and for the common good. Signed and sealed this 9th day of May, 2023. Coconino County Board of Supervisors. Madam Chair, back to you.
Thank you, County Manager, for reading that proclamation. And just staying with our usual, we will go ahead and entertain the motion, the second, the vote, and then we're going to turn it over to the current or almost current as of May 11th, I guess, CEO and President Liz Archuleta. But I want to note, you got to look at this. This is an incredible picture that we're seeing here. We have 4 prior one current, and 3 former CEOs and presidents of United Way of Northern Arizona that have worked very, very closely with Coconino County through decades. I see Carrie Bloom is with us, and of course, Carol Dykes and Liz Archuleta and our very own Steve Peru. So that's pretty cool. So with that, members of the board, I want to entertain a vote for the proclamation designating May 11th as Carol Dykes Day in Coconino County in honor of her commitment to the community and as president and CEO of United Way of Northern Arizona. Do I have a motion?
So move.
We have a motion by Supervisor Fowler. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair Geronimo Vasquez. All those in favor of designating May 11th as Carol Dykes Day, please signify by saying aye.
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 It is unanimous, which is not a surprise. So Carol, congratulations. And I'm going to turn this over to Liz and also then Carrie and Steve, and then we'll turn it over to my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors. And then you got the wrap up, Carol. So you got to get it together there. Okay. So with that, we have Liz, please.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Chair Horstman and members of the board and the county team. Really appreciate this proclamation in honor of Carol. This is a very special proclamation that certainly speaks to all of Carol's 24 years of dedication to United Way in Northern Arizona and into working with Coconino County. One of the stories that I want to share, because the proclamation said so much about Carol and her work, but one of the personal stories that I wanted to share was when I was on the Board of Supervisors and we had the Schultz fire and the Schultz flooding. We had an enormous amount of community support that came out, and Carol was there literally rolling up her sleeves every single day, helping and opening up the Volunteer Assistance Center, making sure that volunteers were trained and that they could go out and help community members, managing donations, and just making sure that there was a really wraparound support and caring for our community during that time. And that started this incredible partnership that Coconino County had with United Way of Arizona, and that United Way still has today with Coconino County. And so many people, if they don't recognize Carol for her leadership as CEO of United Way, they certainly will recognize her for just the caring that she's brought to community, and seeing her at all of the various disasters that we've had in Coconino County, whether that be wildfires or flooding or you name it, what we experience in Coconino County, snow melt, etc. over the years. And I just want to tell you that Carol's dedication was never 8 to 5. One of even most recently in my working with Carol as we transition, there was a resident who needed some assistance and was referred to us from the county. And Carol was on vacation, and we were trying to get some services for the resident. And Carol said, "Just call me if you need something." And so I gave Carol a ring, and literally during the various hours of her vacation, she was assisting. And I know that that's really like Carol's happy place is really working on crisis response. I mean, that's something she loves to do. And I think it just speaks highly of who Carol is as a person, as a member of our community, and as the president and CEO of United Way for the last few years, but certainly as a team member of United Way for 24 years. And so my job will be to carry on the torch as she passes it to me as the president and CEO, and build on all of the good work that she has done and that she then inherited from Steve and from Carrie, and those folks that came before her. So we have a long history. Those of us who are here tonight with the United Way and with the partnership with Coconino County, it's a proud history and one that I'm very happy to continue. So just want to thank you all for recognizing Carol.
Thank you, Liz, and for your comments. And I'm gonna see Carrie Bloom.
Good
I
evening.
think you had something to do with maybe hiring Carol a long time ago. So
Thank you, Chair Horseman and members of the board. I can remember very clearly 24 years ago sitting down with Carol for an interview. And but that was after I had twisted her arm and persuaded her with any way I could. I think it involved a few visits to Ava Estrella's restaurant on 4th Street. But she did agree to come join our team. And at that point, our team was very small. You know, there were just 2 of us in the office, and Carol came, and what a world of difference she made. The United Way that we have been for the last 25 or 24 years is because of Carol. First, in her just steadfast support of everything that was going on. And those were really busy times. You know, there was so much new work occurring in the neighborhoods in our partnership with Supervisor Liz Archuleta at the time. And there was work, the very beginning work with the early childhood. And she was there through it all. My nickname for her back in those days was the bulldog with a smile, because Carol made everyone feel good, even when she was setting the limits that needed to be set to make sure we could get the things done. She has brought kindness. She has brought caring. She's brought steadfast commitment to doing it right. She never let us compromise on our standards. And I think I have to stop because I will start crying. But thank you to the county for your partnership through all those years for this very meaningful proclamation. And thank you to the county manager as well. And
thank you. And Steve, you have some additional words you'd like to?
Real quick, again, you know, the words or the song "I Did It My Way" from Frank Sinatra kind of rings true, because, you know, having worked, and Carol's worked for a lot of individuals, and then when she took over the organization, she could do it her way. So with that, you've done it your way. You've created your legacy. You've added to a legacy of great accomplishments with the board, the community, our partners, and so, you know, you did it your way. You did it good, kiddo. And yeah, you could be quite a bit of a bulldog. I experienced that too. There are days I think I was working for Carol instead of the other way around. Yeah. Enjoy retirement. I hear it's pretty good. Thanks.
Thanks. Any other members of the county would like to say something, or I'll turn it over to my colleagues next. All right, I'm going to turn it over to my colleagues. So members of the board, any comments you'd like to make for Carol? I think we've got her verklempt. I'm not sure what we're going to. So Vice Chair?
Sure, I'll start. Well, Carol, congratulations. It's finally here. You've earned it. We're going to miss you. Great job. You've left a great legacy, and I just appreciate your leadership and your years of public service through United Way and all the efforts. You know, I think about all the things that I've interacted with United Way before coming to the Board of Supervisors, through Killup, through Kinder Camp, through some of the educational efforts. And then now, since I've been on the board, you know, we started quick with the museum flooding in the neighborhoods, and all the support through the sandbags, and the support for the trailer park on Main Street. Excuse me. And then that, who would have thought that would just be the primer for spring and summer of 2022, right? And then dealing with all the recovery, and then the sandbag efforts there for once it was flooding, and just through it all, you were always there. And I just really appreciate your leadership and everything that I've had the blessed opportunity to work with you, and I'm excited for you on this next chapter. You've left a good legacy, and you have United Way in good hands, and so I'm really excited to see where it goes in this next era. But we're really happy for you, and go enjoy it because you've earned it. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments, members of the board? Supervisor Fowler.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you, Carol, for all your work in the community. And you all are great buddies, so that's really good. And we just had these presentations about these about mental health and just the work that United Way is doing, and just working on improving and helping people where they're really, when they need help. And that's when United Way comes in, and it's been really effective way to help Flagstaff. And it's really been a really the service has been really good for people that are in need. So I just want to thank you for your service and your dedication to really improve the community, and being there as a partner to not only Coconino County, but other organizations. And a lot has changed through the years, and how United Way is organized. So just really appreciate United Way and the partnership that it has with the county. It does provide service that the county is not able to provide, and be able to partner on certain projects. So thank you so much for your service, and welcome back, Liz, and look forward to working with you more. And great to see Carrie there. Hi, Carrie. I haven't seen you in a while, so it's really good to see you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm not sure Judy is still able to interact yet. So I'm going to go ahead and go on this. And Carol, thank goodness you're retiring. We can spend more time camping, and I look forward to that, and look forward to be able to spend some time out there and just enjoying your life and enjoying time with Jim and, with your friends. So, and I want to thank you so much. Your legacy precedes you. You were the woman behind the scenes for many of the people that are on here right now, and really one of the people behind the scenes that was steadying the ship for United Way. And then you stepped out. And of course, I don't know what this says. The minute you decided to do this, you ended up having a worldwide pandemic to contend with. And you did. And we've talked a lot about the work that you did, and that United Way did, and the volunteers did with responding to our floods and our fires. But one of the things I want to call bring forth is your work on the social safety net. And Liz was involved in this. I was involved before I was even elected with it. And it was a coalition of the nonprofits to ensure that the social safety net was met, especially during COVID. And these were a group from all over Coconino County to make sure that we had food and housing, medical, and mental health assistance, especially during the time of COVID. And I know Michelle Oxland was very involved, as was Kim from HHS, and so many of our nonprofits that you got together and really oversaw our response during COVID, and continues here today. So I want to thank you for that. Thank you for all your hard work. You certainly have left a legacy of caring, concern. You are what Living United stands for. And we really appreciate all of your work. So thank you so much. You deserve this retirement. And with that, Carol, take it away.
Well, thank you, Chair Horstman and the board. I'm just so deeply honored for this recognition. It's been a pleasure. It's been a very much pleasure and a great partnership. And you guys are very special to me, and I'm very proud to have served the community. I just can't thank you again. You didn't miss a beat on that proclamation. Boy, you got everything down. I couldn't believe everything that was said in there. You guys are great. Didn't miss a beat, but thank you so much. And it's been such a pleasure to work with all of you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
It's-
Great.
it's- it was
Any other final comments? I know we're going to have an opportunity on May 11th to honor her further. In fact, this just seems like a whole week of partying. So,
All right.
I love that. So any other comments from members of the board? Otherwise, I'm ready to party on May 11th for Carol Dykes Day. I hope you all are as well. So
Thank you again.
thank you.
Sure.
All right. Well, members of the board, now we got to get down to work. That was fun. Now we got to get down to some work here. So this is members of the board, members of our community. We have now reached the consent agenda portion of our board meeting. And consent agenda items are more administrative or ministerial in nature. They can be handled through one motion and one vote. If items are to be discussed, or if we want to go ahead and take them out individually for individual motion and an individual vote, we can remove them from the consent agenda. So at this time, members of the board, I am asking if the board would like to remove any of the items from the consent agenda. County manager has asked that we remove item 7 for discussion and for some information provided by the county staff. So other than 7, are there any other items on the consent agenda anyone would like to remove from the consent agenda? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to accept and approve the consent agenda items 2 through 10, removing item number 7. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Vice Chair Vasquez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Fowler. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda exclusive of number 7, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Do we have Supervisor Begay's vocal yet, or is she still just on? It's hard to count her vote if she's.
Lindsay, were you able to pick up Supervisor Begay's signal?
All right, it looks like we don't. I just got something from Lindsay. So
Okay.
it is unanimous. It's 3-0. So now let's turn to item number 7, and that is consideration and possible action to approve and accept the Affordable Connectivity Outreach Grant between the Federal Communications Commission and Coconino County Health and Human Services in the amount of $228,266 with a in-kind county match of $7,200 for the period of May 1, 2023 to April 30th, 2024, and approve a fiscal year 2023 budget amendment with the addition of one limited appointment full-time employee for the grant period. And I see I'm going to turn this over to County Manager.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Kim Musselman, Director of HHS, is here to go over the item with you and answer any questions that you might have. So turn it over to Kim, please.
Thank you, County Manager. Thank you, Chair Horseman, Board of Supervisors. Appreciate the opportunity. I wanted to just provide kind of a little context to this item, and especially because we've also had some interest from the media, and to be able to kind of give just a brief overview of what this is. This was a grant that Andrea Maru, our division manager over our community action entity, she actually pursued this grant to get some additional help navigating. And so I'm going to explain that in just a minute, because this is a program that's been around for quite some time, but it's a program that, like a lot of federal and state assistance programs, the technology and the portals and the application processes are somewhat daunting to folks. And so having folks to help individuals navigate and actually obtain the service is really key. And so first of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to Andrea She pursued this grant. We were the only ones in Arizona that received this grant. This was put out nationally, and we were the only ones in Arizona that received this grant. And that was in part due to our population and our tribal partnerships. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. And then also even equally and to some extent also a big reason we got this grant is because we have a proven navigator model here at HHS. And what I mean by that is that our staff, the social services staff, the other staff that work in other programs understand the importance of that navigation and assist our clients in getting those services applied for. And so just as a fun little stat, 80% of our clients that access services with us use our navigator model to be able to get in the DES portal, to get into those things, to actually get, their services, whether that's SNAP or it's, applying for Medicaid and federal public housing assistance, and of course our utility and assistance and other housing assistance. So I just think that is huge. And so thank you, Andrea, and thank you for coming on camera, Andrea. This program is the budget request, the budget adjustment is for funding that will fund a limited appointment position that will be hired here in pretty short order. But I wanted to just explain, this is a benefit to access the Affordable Connectivity Program. The benefit provides for up to $30 a month discount for internet services. So that's a big amount when we know how expensive it is paying for internet services, and up to $75 a month discount for households on qualifying tribal lands. And also a one-time discount for up to $100 for a laptop, a desktop computer, or a tablet that is purchased through a participating provider. So I just wanted to comment in terms of our coordination and our partnerships with, in particular, the Navajo Nation and our other tribal entities. There will be events. Our social services teams do this all the time in partnership with our tribal nations, but to be able to attend events and other things that are happening, whether that be a flea market or a chapter meeting or other things that there are events happening, our staff will be there to be promoting this program and assisting folks in getting this benefit if they are eligible. So I just wanted to give that little brief overview so that you understood what this is that you're being asked to approve, and then provide any opportunity if there's any additional questions that either I can answer or I might defer to Andrea, because she is actually far more expert in the topic than I am. So thank you.
Thank you, Kim. And Andrea, thank you. What an incredible thing. And what an honor to have written this and not gotten approved. And it's really appreciative by the Board of Supervisors for all your hard work. Sounds like a great program. Is there something you'd like to tell us about this?
Thank you, Chair Wartsman. This was something that, like Kim said, because our team already does the navigator model, it just seemed like the perfect fit for what we were already doing for all of our Coconino County residents. And so this was something that our team was very excited to try to apply for, and we were really confident that we would have a great opportunity to provide this to our community. We're already collecting all of these documents, so this is something that we're already doing, and it was just one of those moments where if we could bring more to each client every time we see them, why not try? Why not try to provide that extra support, especially in a county that already has challenges with broadband access in some of our rural and outlying areas. And so this was just something, it was an honor to write it, to receive the grant. We're one of 9 in the entire nation, actually, that is going to be doing this navigation service. So it's very exciting. And yeah, we're looking forward to this upcoming week to start looking at hiring a new FTE and embarking on this journey for navigation for ACP.
All right, very good.
And Chair, if I could just add one thing that I was remiss in saying, in addition to all of our social service clients, our senior service case managers and others are also going to be working specifically with our senior population to get them this benefit so that they can have that connectivity as well. So this is really crossing all different age ranges that we're going to be able to help navigate and provide access to this service. So thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thanks, Kim. Any other comments from the board? Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion and we can have comments afterwards as well.
I move we approve.
We have a motion by Supervisor Fowler. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair. All those in favor of approving and accepting the Affordable Connectivity Outreach Grant between the Federal Communication Commissions and Coconino County Health and Human Services in the amount as set forth in our agenda, and approve a fiscal year 2023 budget and amendment with the addition of a one limited appointment full-time employee for the grant period as more fully set forth in the agenda. Do I we have a motion and a second? All those in favor signify by saying.
Move. So move.
All right. I think we have a motion by Supervisor Fowler and a second by Supervisor Vasquez. And we have Judy Begay's with us, which is really great. So all those in favor, please signify by saying.
Aye.
Madam Chair.
Aye.
Aye. We weren't able to hear you, Judy. I'm really glad we can hear you now. I think we got
Yeah, I've been on the phone having technical problems, but I had to take care of a personal business still, but I'm done here. So anyway, I'm in.
All right,
Still
thank you. I'm glad- It's good to hear your voice. So that's great. It's 4-0. It is unanimous. And with that, any other comments, members of the board? Supervisor Fowler. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, is it on? Yes, it is. Okay, well, I'm really happy that we were able to secure this grant. Thank you so much for applying for it. This is not a new program. It's been there for some time. When we toured the FCC that came through the county and went to Tuba City and went on to met with them in Tuba City, and then they went on to Kayenta. They were announcing this. So I'm really, announcing the service anyway. But there are many that just don't know how to apply, and part of the and being able to apply and being able to get that information out there is really important. And I'm really happy that you'll be focusing on the rural communities. It's not just on tribal lands. You know, there's many that are in our rural communities of tribal lands that really do need help. And the county health department has a great staff that will be able to provide that, throughout the county. So I really appreciate this. You just taking the initiative to apply for the grant and to secure it and be the only one of 9 throughout the whole country. That's amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Supervisor Fowler. Other comments, members of the board? I see Vice Chair has bubbled up.
Sure. Hello, thank you. Congratulations. It's really exciting, and it's a true testament to your work and having already, taken on that navigator model and best practices are showing that's a good model to use. And the fact that you chosen out of 9 programs out of the whole country, that's pretty cool. Congratulations. I really look forward to seeing how it's implemented with this new FTE. Look, good stuff. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrea and Kim, and excited to see the results of this. It's really an exciting project. So, and Andrea, thank you for the initiative of getting this grant. That's great. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So, members of the board, we have done it. We've gotten through our consent agenda. So let's move on. We need to resolve as the Health District Board of Directors. Do I have such a motion?
So move.
A motion by Supervisor Fowler. Do I have a second? Second by Vice Chair Vasquez. And all those in favor of resolving as the Health District Board of Directors, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. It's unanimous. We are now the Health District Board of Directors. Don't you feel different? All right. This is Public Health District consent agenda. As I indicated, members of the public, these are items that are more administrative in nature, ministerial in nature, can be handled through one vote, one motion and one vote, and it's only one. And it's consideration of possible action to approve Amendment 1 of the Intergovernmental Agreement Contract Number CTR 060268 between the Arizona Department of Health Services and Coconino County Public Health Services for immunization services to replace exhibits 3 and 5 to reduce the indirect cost rate from 10% to 0%. Members of the board, do I have a motion to approve this consent agenda item?
I move we approve.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda item. Do I have a second?
Second.
That second by Vice Chair. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous. And now we have to resolve back as the Board of Supervisors. Do I have such a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
And all those that approve going back to resolve as the Board of Supervisors signify by saying aye.
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 And we are now the Board of Supervisors. Members of the board, we have listed on here a public hearing, although I understand from our county manager that we have an update on this county or on this public hearing. And so I'm going to ask Monique Cody, our deputy county attorney, to provide us the update on this hearing.
Madam Chair, if I could ask real quick, I think that was for item 13. So for item 12.
You know what?
we
You
can-
are absolutely right.
And then we'll come back.
I was going to short, I think, is this District 3 again?
No, it's District
4.
District 4? All right, I'm sorry. And you're right. I apologize. I saw the public hearing and went right to it. Members of the board, we do have a public hearing. We have a public hearing consideration and possible recommendation to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control regarding a location owner transfer liquor license application 2386930009 liquor store for Winona Station located at 13673 Townsend Winona Road, Flagstaff, Arizona. That is in District 4. Agent, and I'm so sorry, it's Patel, and I'm going to not be able to give first and middle name, and I apologize. It is Patel Winona Station located in District 4. As I indicated, this is Supervisor Begay's district. We do have the clerk of the board, Lindsay Daly, who may be able to read the agent's name more fully than I was able to, and to present on this item. So please, Lindsay, this is item number 12.
Thank you, Chair Horseman. I just want to note too that I do have a representative for the agent. The representative's Roshan's on the phone with me, so I've got her on my cell phone so that she can hear and then answer questions once we get to that point. Thank you. And then as you said, Chair, this is for a liquor license that we received from the State Department of Liquor License and Control for the board to consider and make a recommendation on. And the location is the Winona Station at 13673 Townsend Winona Road in Flagstaff, Arizona 86004. And the agent is Shailesh Kumar Patel. Again, this is in Supervisor District 4's district. And I did speak with Roshan. She explained that there has been a liquor license at this location for several years, but the business is sold, so they're transferring ownership. Because this is a Series 9 liquor license for a liquor store, there's a certain quota that the state has for those licenses. So that's why it's considered a location owner transfer. Again, we sent this out to the departments for review. By Community Development, Sheriff's Office, Health Department, and Risk Manager. They don't have any concerns regarding the application. And then also we had it posted at the location for 20 days to receive any comments regarding the application, and we have not received any comments or concerns regarding the application. The board does not issue the license, but makes a recommendation to the state regarding the license based off of knowledge of the community. Thank you.
For clarification, and I am going to ask the agent to address before we open this up for a public meeting, but just for clarification then, the statutory requirements to apply for the Arizona Department of Liquor License on a transfer have been met, it sounds like, is that correct?
That is correct, Chair Horseman.
All right, and there have been to our no objection that has been made or comments made by members of the public on this. Is that correct?
That is correct. No comments received or concerns regarding the application.
Very good. Thank you. And unless there are other questions from members of the board, I'll open this up to the agent to have her give us a little background, and then I'll open this up for a public hearing. So any comments or questions first from the board? Seeing none, let's go ahead, and if the agent is with us, let's have her give us a little information and background on this.
Roshan, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and then give a little background on the location and the license.
Yes. So my name is Rochan Goswami, and I'm actually helping Shailesh Kumar Patel to set up the business and everything. And I'm one of the representative of this location. This location is actually used to do the business under Winona Trading Post. It's in Winona on the side of I-40, the corner of I-40. It's like about 15 miles, 12, 15 miles from Flagstaff.
Very good. Any comments, questions, members of the board of the agent? If not, I am going to go ahead at this point and open this up for a public hearing. Members of the board, we have before us a recommendation. We are considering to make a recommendation to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control regarding a location and owner transfer of a liquor license 238693 Series 009 liquor store for Winona Station, which is located at 13673 Townsend Winona Road here in Flagstaff. You've heard from the agent. At this time, members of the public, it's time to hear from you. So our clerk, Lindsay Daly, is going to let you know how you can join us and be heard here for this public hearing. So Lindsay, please.
Thank you. At this time, if anyone would like to make a comment during this public hearing regarding this liquor license, please hit the raise hand icon that will appear if you hover towards the bottom of the screen and it looks like a hand. If you click on that, that will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak. If you've joined by telephone, you can hit *9 and that will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak.
Now is your time, members of the public, to be heard.
There are no hands raised.
All right, last call, second time, members of the public, if you'd like to be heard, please join us at our public hearing.
And there are no hands raised, Chairperson.
Very good. Then I am going to go ahead and close this public hearing. And members of the board, are there any questions or concerns that you may have on this liquor license application?
Thank you. Thank you, Lindsay.
Any other items, questions? If not, then it appears that we have on the record from Lindsay Daly, who has confirmed that the statutory requirements were met. The 20-day comment period has passed. We have not received any comments on no negative comments and no concerns raised by members of Coconino County team. With that, members of the board, do I have a motion to make the recommendation to the Arizona Department of Liquor License regarding a location only transfer for this liquor license in Series 009 liquor store for Winona Station, located at the address in Winona Road, Flagstaff, Arizona. Do I have a motion?
So move.
I have a motion by Supervisor Begay. This is in Supervisor Begay's district. Thank you, Supervisor Begay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chair. All those in favor of making the recommendation to the Arizona Department of Liquor License and Control signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And it is unanimous. Any comments you'd like to make, Supervisor Begay, on this?
Madam Chair, no, with everything passing and everything's in place, and I really don't have any comment. I just wanted to wish the liquor license applicant wish them well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Supervisor Begay. Then members of the board, we are moving on to number 13, which I'd already moved on to. And this is a public hearing, our last one for the evening. And this is a public hearing in consideration and possible adoption of ordinance 2023-08, approving a zone change from RR5 to RR1 on a 1.07 acre parcel located 1 mile west of Flagstaff city limits along West Route 66. Property is located at 7175 West Naval Observatory Road. And it's more fully set forth in our agenda. This happens to be in District 1. I have received information today from our deputy county attorney on this. And so I'm going to turn this over to her first to provide some advice on this. So Monique, could you please let us know where we are on this?
Good evening, Chair Horseman, members of the board. Yes, the department and the applicant have requested that this item be continued. In discussions with the clerk of the board, rather than just removing it from the agenda and then posting a revised agenda, because this had been scheduled for a public hearing, a revised agenda was posted yesterday afternoon that the hearing is going to be continued since this item is being continued. There's no action for the board to take this evening because the item has basically been removed from the agenda, but we left it on there to inform the public of what was going on with this item. If this appears on a future agenda item, there will be some level of notice to the public, and we can just discuss that when we get to that point. But there is no action for the board to take tonight. So therefore, there's no reason to hold the public hearing because this item has been continued.
And I, based on a stipulation between the applicant and the county to continue, is that correct?
That is correct. It was a stipulated continuance.
Very good. So members of the board, it looks like no further action is necessary on our part at this time. I want to thank legal counsel for her advice on this. And with that, we are at the end of our agenda. And at this point, members, we can adjourn our board meeting. And just a reminder, our budget continues tomorrow in person at 8 o'clock. And look forward to seeing you all out there as we continue our budget process. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time and attention this evening. And what a two great proclamations. Great job, County Manager. Appreciate it. So
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.
That was good.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. Good job, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you. Good night.